Morning is a cloudy start to the day for many, a wet one for some. For England and Wales, it will brighten up and it will be warm and sunny. For Scotland and Northern Ireland, it will dry up for most, but will hang on to the rain in the west with the risk of flooding. I'll have all the details coming up. I did miss it completely, I'm afraid. I was busy building this chart because at the moment it is quite a mild start to the day. Look at this. In London it's 10 degrees, Real Belfast and Sheffield it's 12 degrees, Edinburgh 13 and Luchers and Fife 14 degrees. These temperatures would be good as maximum temperatures at this time of year. Mind you, they're pretty good to start the day as well if you're going out for a run or something. Warming up is really the forecast for the start of the week. It's not going to remain that way. By the end of the week, it will be much colder. Into the Easter weekend, it's going to be cold, particularly so on Easter Sunday and also Easter Monday. And for some of us, there will be some wintry showers as well. Today, though, we do have this weather front. It's more or less ensconced across parts of the north of the country, and it will be producing persistent rain through today across Western Scotland. But to the south of that, look how we're pulling in all this mild air as represented by the yellows and the ambers. But first thing, it is a cloudy start to the day. Now the cloud will continue to break up. There's some mist, there's some fog around as well, and we'll see some sunshine coming through. The rain across northwest England and Northern Ireland tending to fade, but we'll hang on to all this rain with the risk of flooding across parts of northern and western Scotland. Temperatures today, 9 in Stornoway, 17 in Aberdeen, 19 in Norwich, but could hit 20 or 21 around the southeast. Now, as we head on through this evening and overnight, we will have clear skies in the south. There'll be some patchy mist and fog, touch of frost perhaps in some southeastern areas. But as we move northwards across Northern Ireland, Northern England and Scotland, more cloud and still this persistent rain. The totals really starting to mount, and they'll continue to do so through the course of tomorrow as that rain continues in the north and the west of Scotland. It should brighten up across southern and eastern Scotland, the north and east of Northern Ireland, but from the word go we'll have sunshine across England and Wales, and the temperature will shoot up pretty quickly. In fact, tomorrow we could have as high as 23 degrees, for example, somewhere in the southeast, 20 as we push up towards the Liverpool area. That's pretty good for this time of year, but temperatures not as high as we move further north. Now, as we head on into Wednesday, our weather front is going to start to slowly slip southwards with some patchy rain on it. Behind it, it opens the door to much colder air. Ahead of it, we still are looking at very mild conditions, still 22s, 23s, but north, well, it's going to be colder. If you think today in Aberdeen it could be 17 or 18 degrees, just in a couple of days, that temperature will drop by a good 10 degrees. So you'll certainly notice that. By the end of the week, this weather front that's bringing the colder air behind it continues to sink southwards. Not much left in it other than some cloud, the odd spot of rain, but it opens the doors to some Arctic air coming right the way across the whole of the UK. So it's going to turn much colder. It will be windy as well. There's a chance of wintry showers, but that I mean sleet and snow. Most of that will be in the tops of the hills. Wouldn't you know it? Easter weekend, we've got the good weather at the start of the week, and then when many of us will be off, if you're working, it does mean that it's going to turn that bit colder.
So it's time to do.
Well, you know, it's starting off on a rather cloudy note, Dan. Good morning, everybody. And it's cloudy more or less across the board. Some of us have got some rain. The rain today really becoming confined to the north and west of the UK, more particularly in Scotland. But the sun will come out for some, and it's going to be quite a warm day. And as we go through this week, it's getting warmer, but by the end of the week, it's going to be cold. And by the end of the Easter weekend, it's going to be even colder. So lots going on with the weather. Cloudy start. Here's the rain. It's across northwest England, Northern Ireland, and also western Scotland at the moment, but it's going to continue to advance north. Come south, the cloud that we've got breaking up. There'll be some sunshine in the Channel Islands, sunshine across southern counties with a wee bit more cloud lapping on shore at times, turning the sunshine hazy. It's the same, the Irish Sea producing some cloud coming in across West Wales and northwest England through the day, but much of England enjoying sunny intervals. Drying up in Northern Ireland, but continuing with that rain across the north and west of Scotland. Now, temperatures in Aberdeen today, 17 in Belfast, 19 in Hull and Norwich, and 20 in London, so warm for this stage in March. As we head through the evening and overnight, under clear skies in the south, there'll be some patches of mist and fog, some pockets of frost in the southeast. But for Northern Ireland, Northern England and Scotland, a bit more cloud and still this rain across the northwest, still with the risk of localised flooding. And it will be with us once again tomorrow. For the rest of the UK, variable amounts of cloud, but a fair bit of sunshine for England and Wales. Even warmer tomorrow, highs of 23. Dan and Sal.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I look forward to that day when we can. Oh. Good morning, everybody. You know, something we haven't seen for a while is this chart. This is the pollen chart. And you can see today across parts of England and Wales, the pollen levels are high. This is tree pollen, the ash and the elm. And as we go through the start of this week and it starts to get warmer, increasingly the birch as well. This morning, there's a lot of cloud around, as you can see from this lovely Weather Watchers picture taken in Nottinghamshire a bit earlier. As I mentioned, it is going to get warmer today, tomorrow, into Wednesday. Then it's going to turn much colder, but we're going to continue with rain across the northwest of the UK. Now, at the moment, it's across Northern Ireland, northwest England and Scotland. In fact, in the Lake District, in the last 30 hours, there's been about 200 millimetres of rainfall. That is getting on well close to 8 inches. But today, that's going to move northwards and it will become ensconced across northern and western Scotland. It's courtesy of this weather front, and here there is the risk of localised flooding. So we're starting with a lot of cloud. Gradually, the cloud will break up. You'll notice too, it's a fairly windy day. It's windy at the moment and it will be windy through the day and will continue with that rain through the afternoon in the north and west. But in eastern Scotland, well, we could hit 17 degrees in Aberdeen. Some breaks developing the cloud across Northern Ireland and northwest England. Again, we're looking at about 16 or 17, maybe 19 in Hull. But it's as we come further south, we see the sunshine for the longest. Temperatures easily getting up to 19, potentially 20 or indeed 21 degrees. So warm for this stage in March. Now, through this evening and overnight, under the clear skies in the south, we'll see some patchy mist and fog in the southeast, some pockets of frost. But for Northern Ireland, Northern England and Scotland, still a lot of cloud and still this weather front producing all this rain. These are our overnight lows, 11s and 12s in Edinburgh and also Aberdeen. Tomorrow, we start off with all this rain across the northwest. It won't be quite as windy tomorrow as it's going to be today. We'll see some of that cloud break up in southern and eastern Scotland, the north and east of Northern Ireland, but really from the word go across England and Wales. When we lose the mist and fog, which will happen quite rapidly, the temperature will shoot up and we're looking at highs. We haven't seen that kind of level, 23 degrees in March, since 2012. And before that, it was way back in 1968. So for Wednesday, here's our weather front, still producing some rain across Scotland and Northern Ireland. It's going to start to slip southwards, weakening, so the rain becoming more patchy, but we'll have some snow above about 500 metres. And then cold air starts to dig in. Today, the temperature in Aberdeen, 17 or 18. By the time we get to Wednesday, only 7. Ahead of that, though, for England and for Wales, still a lot of sunshine around, variable amounts of cloud, and highs still getting up to 22 or 23. On Thursday, here's our weather front continuing its journey southwards as a weak feature with its cloud. By then, we've got Arctic air following in behind across the whole of the UK. But it will brighten up through the day. There will be some sunshine, but the temperatures are going down. Look at this, 7 to about 9. The south just hanging on, but nonetheless, still not as warm as it's going to be in the first half of the week. And Sal and Dan, it's getting colder as we head towards the Easter weekend. Oh, morning. It's a fairly cloudy start to the day for many of us. It's wet for some of us. For England and Wales, it will brighten up and it'll be warm for the time of year. For Northern Ireland and Scotland, it will also brighten up, but we'll hang on to some heavy rain in the west. And wherever you are, it's going to be windy. We've got the lot, and I will too in about 10 minutes. Thank you both. Good morning. Yes, it is getting warmer and then it's going to get colder. Then it's going to get colder again as we head through the Easter weekend. But this morning, there is a lot of cloud around, really wherever you are. The other common denominator today is the wind. Quite a windy day ahead, but the start of the week sees it warming up. We continue with rain in the northwest. We've had it here through the course of the weekend. It's raining currently across parts of Northern Ireland, northwest England and Scotland, but increasingly that rain will be confined to northern and western Scotland. Now, the cloud that we have will start to break up, particularly across England and Wales, but we'll see some breaks across southern Scotland and Northern Ireland as we head on through the course of the afternoon as well. Temperatures high for the time of year. We're looking at 17 or 18 in Aberdeen, 19 in Hull, 19, 20, even 21 in the southeast. So it could well turn out to be the warmest day of this year so far. As we head on through the evening and overnight, under the clear skies in the south, we'll see some pockets of mist and fog forming. Also the odd pocket of frost in the far southeast. But for northern England, Northern Ireland and Scotland, there will be more cloud and still this persistent rain across the north and east. Look at those temperatures though in eastern Scotland, 10 and 11, the same too in Northern Ireland. Now tomorrow we start off with this rain, still very much the risk of flooding, still a lot of cloud in the north. Some of that will break in eastern and southern Scotland, eastern and northern parts of Northern Ireland. But it's England and Wales from the really get-go. We're looking at a lot of sunshine, the mist and fog quickly lifting, as will the temperatures, 22, 23 degrees. That is pretty warm for this stage in March. Dan and Sal.
That is...
Good morning. Good way of describing it too, Dan. Yes, it's going to be quite mild for the time of year, then it's going to get cold, then it's going to get colder. But something we've not seen for a while is this chart. This is the pollen chart. And you can see today across parts of England and Wales, the pollen levels are high. This is tree pollen, the ash and the elm. But as it warms up, increasingly we could see the birch tree as well add to that list. Now, it is going to warm up quite nicely. Temperatures getting up through the middle part of the week to 23 degrees for some of us, but we still will have some rain in the northwest. It's been raining steadily across northwest England, for example, as we've gone through the course of the weekend. The Lake District has seen 200 millimetres of rain in 30 hours. That's getting on close to 8 inches. And it's courtesy of this weather front, which today will become ensconced across the north and the west of Scotland. And here too, there is the risk of flooding. For the rest of us, it's a fairly cloudy start to the day. It's also a fairly windy one. Through the day, we'll start to see that cloud break up, some sunny spells developing, but we'll hang on to that rain across the far north and the west, although it will dry up across Northern Ireland and also northwest England. 17 degrees is what you can expect if you're out in Aberdeen this afternoon, and in Belfast 16, in Newcastle 14, Hull 19, and then as we come into all this sunshine, as we come further south and into the Channel Islands, easily 18, potentially 20 to 21 degrees, dependent on those cloud breaks. Now, as we head on through the evening and overnight, under the clear skies in the south, it's going to be a colder night. There'll be some mist and fog patches forming. We could even see some pockets of frost, particularly in the southeast. But for Northern Ireland and Northern England and Scotland, there will be more cloud and still all this rain. But look at those temperatures, 10 to 12 are overnight lows in the east of Scotland. And as we come further south, we're looking at 4s, 5s and 6s. So from the word go, very quickly, the sun will be out. We'll get rid of all that mist and the temperature will shoot up. But in the north, we start off in a cloudy note, still with all this rain, but brightening up across eastern and southern Scotland, eastern and northern parts of Northern Ireland. Temperature-wise, 15 in Aberdeen, 17 in Newcastle, 22, possibly 23 in London. Now, on Wednesday, our weather front starts to sink south as a weaker feature. Here it is here, bringing rain in across Scotland and Northern Ireland. Above about 500 metres, we'll see some snow. Cold air digging in behind it. Ahead of it, a lot of dry weather, a lot of sunshine once again. And still temperatures 22, 23 in the far south. But we're looking at only 7 in Aberdeen. When you consider today it's likely to be 18, that's quite a drop. And then for Thursday, our weather front eventually makes it all the way down to the south as a band of cloud across parts of England and Wales. But that will break up through the day. Many of us will have a dry day with some sunshine. But note the wind direction. It's coming from the northeast. It's coming straight from the Arctic, actually. And it's going to be much colder. 8s and 9s quite readily, just hanging on to 15 and 16 as we come down into southern areas. But that's a drop from 23 as well. And it's going to get colder. Dan and Sal.
Carol, thank you very much.